So hi all, welcome to this another lab session. So in this lab session we will see how to do DAX calculation in Power BI desktop. This is our lab 4. So for saving time I have already downloaded the zip file and I have already opened the 04 starter sales analysis file. Okay, so let's get started. So the first thing in this lab that we have to do is that in Power BI desktop in the report view, on the modeling ribbon from inside the calculation group, select new table. Okay, so let's go to modeling, let's go to the new table. Okay, and in this new table we have to rename the new table as salesperson, and then we have to type in equal, so salesperson equals then salesperson's performance, and let's click on OK. Now after this, in the data pane we will see that the salesperson has been added. That is fine. Now we will go to the model view. So this is the model view, and within the model view we see that this particular table has been added. Okay, so let's drag this here. Okay, and this particular table, if you can just see in this table, we have the employee key, and within the sales table also we have the employee key. So we simply need to map this particular employee key from the salesperson to the sales table. Okay, we need to create a relationship. So let's drag this and let's drop this here. Okay, you can see the cardinality is one too many and the cross filter direction is single. That is fine. Let's click on save. After this, it is telling us to delete the inactive relationship between salesperson performance and the sales table. Okay, so this is the inactive relationship, and if you just hover on the inactive relationship, you will see that it is also joined on the basis of column key, on the basis of employee key, sorry. Okay, so that means what? That if I go ahead and hover on this active relationship, this is also on basis of employee key and this is also on basis of employee key. So this one we need to delete because already one active relationship already exists, right? So let's delete this one. And in the salesperson's table, multi-select the following columns and then hide them and set the is hidden property to yes. So let's select the salesperson. Okay, let's open this one. Let's multi-select this and the UPN column, and let's click on the I button here. It will okay, wait, by mistake I have selected the table as well. Now if I go ahead and click on this I button, it will only hide these three columns. Okay, now in the model diagram, select the salesperson table. Okay, salesperson table, and in the description box we need to paste this description. So let's copy this and let's paste it here. Let's hit on enter. Okay, after that what we need to do for the salesperson's performance, we need to paste this description. Let's copy this also, and in the salesperson's performance table we need to go ahead and paste this here. That's it. So our first task is done. Now what we need to do, we need to create the date table. So we need to switch to the table view. Let's go to the table view. This is the table view we have. Okay, and on the home ribbon tab from inside the calculation group, select the new table. So let's go to the home table and let's click on the new table. And in the new table we need to create a date table, right? So this will be date equals to calendar auto. What calendar auto function does is it creates a series of date time values. Okay, and whatever value you pass inside this, right, that number becomes the last month of that particular year. So by default the last month is 12, that is December. If you set this to 6, then the last month of that year will be June. Okay, so in many organizations, right, we necessarily do not have December as our last month. Okay, many organizations last month can be different. Okay, so let's say in this case it is June, so we have given this as 6. Okay, and this is exactly what it is written over here also. If you just go ahead and read this function can take a single optional argument, that is the last month of the year. When omitted, the value is 12, meaning that December is the last month of the year. In this case 6 is entered, meaning that June is the last month of this year. Okay, and once I commit this, right, you will see that we have 1826 rows, and and it is in it will be having mm/dd. This is actually the regional format settings, since I have my setting in dd-mm-yyyy. Okay, but always remember that this particular format is going to be in the same as your local format. Okay, and after that, let's go ahead and create some calculated columns. Okay, so within this table we need to create some calculated columns, and the table will look similar to this one in the second table. Okay, so we have this year, we have the quarter, we have the month. Okay, so for this particular example we have this year, so let's copy this year. Okay, let's click on new column here. Okay, after this let's paste it here and let's click on OK. So now what is happening in this particular formula, right? Fy, this ampersand symbol represents concatenation. Okay, year is representing which year it is, right? Plus if month date of date greater than 6,1. So 6,1 means this particular indicates that if my month is greater than 6, right? Because because 6 is the last month of this particular year, then in that particular case, if my month is greater than 6, then just add 1, because after that my new year will start from July onwards, because 6 is the last month of my year. So from July onward it is going to be the beginning of the new year, right? So just add 1 to it, and that's why it has added 1. If you go ahead and if you check this one, right, if I go ahead, go down, right, if I go down here, you will just see the transition. See, from 30/06 to 2018, right? If you just see 30/06 2018, we have the FY as 2018 over here, right? But after 1/07 2018, my year has incremented by 1 because of this logic. Okay, because of this logic, if I go at the top, if you just see, it's 01/07 2017, so the year is 2017. Okay, but because it is starting from July, right, because it is starting from July, that's why this is going to be that is to 2017, this is 2017 plus 1 from here, because it is July. That's why it is FY 2018 which is coming out here. Okay, now in the next we need to go ahead and we need to showcase the quarter. So in that particular case, what we will do, we will click on this new column. Okay, and in this new column we are going to go ahead and type in quarter. Okay, quarter equals to, then this FY 2018 is coming from the year, that is this year, so we will just go ahead and we will just type date of year. Okay, ampersand, then we are going to give a quarter symbol, that is space Q, because there needs to be a space. Okay, and then again an ampersand, and then we are going to give an if condition over here. Okay, because this is quarter 1, quarter 2, quarter 3, so what is going to be quarter 1? Okay, now because 6th is our end of the year, right, 6th is our end of the year, then definitely if there is anything that is less than 9, right, from month number 7 to month number 9, right, that will be our first quarter. Then from 9 to 12 it will be our second quarter. Then from 1 to 3 it will be our third quarter, and from 4 to 6 it will be our fourth quarter. Okay, so that is what we have to code it over here. So what we will say, that if my month of the date of the date is less than equals to 3, then in that particular case the quarter will be 3. Okay, then again if it is not that, then again an if condition, we will code nested if conditions. Month of our date is less than equals to 6. If it is less than equals to 6, then in that particular case it will be 6th, it will be quarter number 4. Else if my month of date is less than equals to 9, then it will be quarter number 1, else it will be quarter number 2. And then if I go ahead and if I click on this, you will see it will automatically come. Okay, fine. So here the quarter has become quarter 1. Okay, by mistake what I did was in month of date less than equals to 6, I took entirely that into the bracket. That's why it was giving me that mistake. Okay, so here FY of 2018, this becomes quarter 1. Now in the next we need to go ahead and we need to create another new column with the name month. So for this what we will do, we will type in month equals to, and now we will be using format. Okay, for format we'll do whatever date that we are capturing from here, right? If you just see the month 2017 is the year which is coming from the date, and we have to represent the month over here, that is July or August, something like that. Okay, so it needs proper formatting, so we will just give the date and then the proper formatting. So for year it will be YYYY and then capital MMM for the month. Okay, if I go ahead and if I paste, then it will give you this particular value over here. Okay, and after this, after we have created this, okay, to validate the calculations, switch to the report view. So let's go ahead and let's switch to the report view. Okay, and to create a new report page, select the plus and so let's create this new page. Okay, and we need to add this into the matrix visualization. So let's go ahead and let's click on this matrix visualization here. Okay, and after that, in the data pane, from inside the data table, drag the year into the row. Okay, let's drag the year and let's also drag the month as well. Okay, this table size is very small, so let me go ahead and let me increase the font. Let me give this value as 20. The column header also as 20. Okay, and the row header also as 20. Okay, after that let me click on this pitchfork symbol, that is for hierarchy. So let me press Ctrl and yes. Okay, so if you go down here, it is telling us to do the same thing, chronological order. So to customize the month field, sort the sort order, switch to table view, add the month key column to the date table. Okay, so we need to sort it. Okay, if you can just see, it's not sorted in the correct format because 6th is going to be our last month, so it should be at the top, it should be July, then it should be August, then December, July, August, September, October, November, December, and like that it will progress. Okay, so how we will do that one? Okay, so it is telling us to go to the table view and to create a new column. Okay, and in that new column we need to add this month key. Okay, so then this month key is nothing but it's multiplying the year of that particular key with 100 and plus month with the date. Okay, it's just adding the month and it is multiplying the year into 100. Okay, so if 2017 is going to be multiplied with 100, it's going to be 2017 00 plus the month. Okay, month is going to be here it is 07, so it will be 2017 07, as simple as that. So if I go ahead and if I hit on enter, you will see this particular value will come 2017 07 like this, right? What this will do, if I go ahead and if I sort on basis of this, right, it will now give me proper it will give me value in the proper order, right? So it will first July will come, then August, then September, like that it will come. Okay, so let's go ahead and it's saying switch back to the report view in the data pane and then select month. Okay, so let us go ahead and select the month key. Sorry, go ahead, let's go to the date and from the column tools, right, on the column tools, this is the report view, data pane, select month. Okay, and from the columns tools, let's go ahead and let's click on sort by columns and then month key. Yes, now you see it has properly it has ordered it. Now if I just go down, it is saying to complete the date table. Okay, so let's go to the model view. In the date table, hide the month key column and set it is hidden to yes. Okay, so in the date table, this is the date table, to hide this month key. So that is done. On the data right side, select the date table and right select on the year column to create a hierarchy, and we need to rename that hierarchy to fiscal, and then we need to also add quarter and month to that hierarchy. So let us go ahead and do that. So let us click on the three dots, create a hierarchy. It will create a hierarchy for us. Okay, and let's rename this hierarchy to fiscal. Okay, and now what we will do, we will add the quarter to this fiscal hierarchy, and we will also add month to this fiscal hierarchy. Okay, so if I go ahead, if I see this is, it's been created in the same way, and we need to create the following two model relationships. Okay, so how to do this? Obviously we go to the date to date, sales to order date. So we click on the manage relationships, click on the new relationship. You can also drag and drop this, but obviously there are so many of them, right? So I will go directly to the date table, date of dates. Okay, and I will click on the sales and then click on order date and click on save. Okay, once I click on save, it will create that relationship for me. Now if I go ahead, I create one more relationship from date to date, and then to table, this will be date, and in to table it will be targets of target month. I go ahead and I click on save. Okay, and then after that I click on the close. That's it. And then it is saying hide the following two columns, that is sales of order date and targets of target month. So this is order date is hidden, and let us go down to targets and let us hide the target month. Now mark the date table as date. So in this task you will mark the date table as date table. So we switch on to the report view, we select the date table, and it is giving us here as mark as date table. So let's select on that, let's click on and let's select this as date. It's validated successfully. Let's click on OK. So that is what is mentioned here, how we can mark it to date table. After that we save the Power BI desktop file. So let's save it. So we have saved it successfully. Now we create simple measure. So let's on page number 2, right, and report view on page number 2, in the data pane, drag the sales unit price field to the visual. Okay, so this is the unit price. Okay, and we will drag it to the values field. See, this is the values field. Let me click on cross. Okay, and then what we will do, we will go down in the visual field. We can see that this is the average of the unit price. Okay, so this is the average of the unit price here. And now what we have to do, we need to create a measure in the data pane in the sales table, and then we need to give this as the DAX function. Okay, so let's go ahead, let's create a new measure, and let us copy this. Okay, and let us paste this. After this we will just drag it and drop it here. Okay, and now you will see that this is the average price that we have. If you just see, the formatting is different. This is in rupees and this is in dollars. Okay, so this is the thing, but with different formatting. The values, well, open the context menu for the average price field, and notice that this isn't possible to change the aggregation technique. Okay, so it is not possible to modify the aggregation behavior of the measure. Using the same, we can create the following 5 measures also, that is the median price, min price, max price, orders and orders line. Okay, so let us go ahead and create those. So let's go to this new measure. Okay, and we will just type this as median equals to median of your price, right? So this will be the unit price, sales unit price. Okay, so this median I will drag it and drop it here. Similarly, what I can do is I will just simply go ahead from the snippets and I will simply copy this min and max file over here. So let me go to the sales, new measure, and let me paste this min as min, and let's create one more measure. Let's go ahead and create this max as well, max as equals to this. Then let's go ahead and let's create one more measure. Okay, and here let's create this orders equals to this. And let us go ahead and create one more measure for order lines. Okay, so let us drag this, the min, the max, the orders and the order lines. Okay, and let's expand this. Okay, here let's cross this one. Okay, so we have this entirely. So here it is saying that distinct count function is used in orders measure will count orders only once, ignoring any duplicates. The count rows function used in the order lines measure operates over a table. Okay, in this case the number of orders is calculated by counting the distinct sales order number column values, while the number of order line is simply the number of table rows. So this is self-explanatory. Okay, now switch to the model view and then multi-select the 4 price measures, that is average price, max price, median price and min price. Okay, so let us go to the model view. Okay, and in the model view, if you go ahead, if you just check the sales table, we have all this. So we need to select the average price, max price, median price and min price over here, right? And we need to assign it to the same folder, that is pricing. Okay, so how we will do that? We will select the average, so we will deselect this one, max, then median and then min. Okay, and let's go to this display folder and let's type in pricing and let's click on OK. You will see it is all under the pricing folder. And let's hide the unit price column. Then let's hide this one. So the unit price column is now not available to the report authors. They must be using the pricing measures that you have added to the model. This design approach ensures that report authors won't inappropriately aggregate the prices, for example by summing them. In the same way, we need to also assign a similar folder that is known as counts by putting the orders and order line, grouping them together. Okay, so let us do that also. So we have the order lines and the orders. Okay, and let us go ahead and create this counts folder. So we have created this. Now in the report view, in the values well/area of the matrix visual for the unit price field, select X to remove it. Okay, so in the report view, in the values well/area of the matrix. Okay, so let us go up here. What we need to remove? We need to remove the unit price field. Okay, this one. For the unit price field. Okay, So we have removed this one. Increase the size of the matrix visual to fill the page width and height, that is done. Add the following 5 measures, this is also done, and we verify that this is looking like this, that is correct. Okay, it is coming in the same 3875, that is correct. Okay, all the values are coming here. Now we need to create additional measures. So in this task we will create some more measures that we use for complex formulation. So in the report views, let's select page 1. Okay, and for this particular report, let's go to this for this format visualization. Let's go ahead and increase the values, that is 20. Let us go to the column headers, let's increase this as well, and let us go to the okay, achha, this is a table, so this is fine. Okay, so that's it. Let me drag this field up here and let me expand this. Okay, yeah. So now select the table visualization, and then in the visualization pane remove the targets field. Okay, report view, notice the total for target column. Okay, this is the target column. We need to remove the target field. Okay, let's remove the target field. Rename the target dash target column to target dash target amount. Okay, so we go to the targets and we go down. Okay, the target slash target column, let us go ahead and let's rename this to target amount. Okay, okay, and then create the following measure on the targets table. Okay, so let us go ahead and let us create a measure. And let's copy this measure here. Okay, and let us click on commit. Now this function, it involves has one value. Okay, I have already created a separate video on has one value. Okay, not just on has one value but also on has one filter, is filtered and is cross filtered as well. So you can go ahead and you can watch that video as well. Okay, it is present in the top. Okay, so this particular target has been now created. Okay, and this is saying that the has one value function tests whether a single value in the salesperson column is filtered. When true, the expression returns the sum of the target amount. For that, when false, blank value is returned. Okay, so format the target measure for 0 decimal places. So let us go ahead, select this one. Okay, and let us select the format to decimal numbers. Okay, and this will be 0 decimal places. Okay, so and we hide the target amount column, so let's hide this. So this is view hidden. Wait, Control Z. Target amount, this one needs to hide. Okay, so this one has okay, yeah, so this one is hidden, that is target amount is hidden. Add the target measure to the table. Okay, so this is the table and we add the target measure. Let's go ahead and let's drop this here. So now this is the target measure here. Notice that the target column is blank, so this part is blank here, which is fine. Use the snippets file definition to create the following 2 measures for the target table, that is variance and variance margin. Okay, so let us go ahead and let us create new measure, and let's go to the snippets. Okay, in the snippets we have this variance, So let's copy this variance and let's paste it here. Okay, so this has created this measure. Let's create one more measure and let us select this variance margin as well. Okay, so I have created both of them. Okay, and I need to for variance measure we need to format it to 0 decimal places. So this is variance. Okay, let us go to this decimal number and let us format this to 0 decimal places. Okay, and variance margin is there, so let's format this to only decimal. Okay, so this is done, and now what we do, we add both of these measures into the same table. Okay, so variance is there and variance margin is also there. Okay, and then we resize the table visual so all columns and rows can be seen. So if you can go ahead, if you see, all the table values and everything can be seen. If I go down, it is saying at the top right corner of the data pane, collapse and then expand, open the pane. Okay, collapsing and reopening the pane resets the content. Okay, if I go ahead, it resets the content. Okay, if I go ahead, okay, and notice that the target tables now appear at the top of the list, which is fine. And that's it. That concludes the end of the lab session. Okay, so it was a pretty big lab. Okay, and I hope through this lab you have learned a lot of different things. Okay, so you see we have covered a significant amount of DAX calculations, DAX measures, how to create different columns, right? How we can go ahead and deal with relationships, build relationships. For that I have already created lab sessions, so you can refer to the previous lab sessions on how we can establish our merge relationships as well. Okay, so that's it guys. Thank you very much for watching this. If you really enjoyed this video, then please don't forget to like, share and subscribe my channel, and don't forget to press the bell icon for notification. Thank you.